Hello, Crime Chronicles. Countless sudden disappearances and bizarre occurrences have happened all around the world, which ended up with brutal crimes. Shadows of these unsolved crimes are still emerging, leaving unanswered questions about whether evil can evade justice. Don't be afraid, we're here to explore together the mysteries that wrap around these crimes. In this video, we'll delve into the depth of 9 creepy unsolved crimes that will give you goosebumps. Before moving forward, make sure that you've subscribed and pressed the bell icon. So without further delay, let's move on to the countdown. Number 9. The disappearance of Madeleine McCann. Madeleine McCann is a 3 years old little girl who mysteriously disappeared from her family's vacation rental in Portugal on May 3, 2007. The disappearance of this little one captured public attention worldwide. Initially, they thought Madeleine was kidnapped, but a false DNA test showed that she had tragically perished in the room where she went missing. Portuguese investigators accused Madeleine's parents that they are hiding her body and creating an abduction hoax. At the case filing in 2020, German prosecutor Hans Christian Walters declared that he had evidence of Madeleine's death, but they were not revealed. Still, McCann's disappearance plagues us. Number 8. Lake Bodom murders. This terrifying crime happened near gorgeous Lake Bodom, Finland on June 5, 1960. It was a crime of 4 teens while they were set out on a camping vacation. Unknown assailants attacked with a knife and brutally killed them. Nils Wilhelm Gustafsson is the one who has survived, ultimately with severe injuries, bruises and fractures to his face. Initially, Gustafsson was named a suspect in the inquiry, but he was cleared in 2005 by the court. Pentti Soininen, Pauli Luomo, Valdemar Gilstrom and Hans Assman were some of the possible suspects in the Lake Bodom killings. Among them, Pauli Luomo has confessed that he did the crime before he died, but it remains unsolved. Number 7. The Black Dahlia murder case. Elizabeth Short's death, popularly known as the Black Dahlia case, is a famous incident that disturbs people all around the world. Elizabeth was born in Massachusetts. She lived in a shattered home after her father left them. Elizabeth's life was characterized by struggles and a desire to become famous. So she moved to California to fulfill her desires. She got a job at Camp Cook. Many people admired her beauty. She went to Hollywood, though her reputation was damaged. Tragically, Elizabeth's life ended horribly and the dead body was discovered in Limert Park in Los Angeles. This terrifying murder is known as the Black Dahlia case. Number 6. The Brook murders. Guys, this is a fearful case that has perplexed detectives for years. In 1985, a hunter discovered a metal 55-gallon drum at Brook State Park in Allenstown, New Hampshire. Inside the drum, skeletonized and wrapped bodies of an adult female and a little girl were found. Autopsies revealed that they may have undergone physical trauma. After 15 years, the dead bodies of 2 more girls were discovered in a metal container 100 feet from the metal drum. So, there one girl was found to be a relative of the victims discovered in 1985. The perpetrator of the Brook murders was not found, though law enforcement was implemented. Number 5. The Japanese pregnant woman murder case. This terrifying and shocking crime occurred on March 18, 1988 in Japan. When the husband of this pregnant lady entered the house through the unlocked door, he could hear the crying sound of the baby. As he went inside, he could see the little baby at the foot of his dead wife. To him, it's a memory that will stay shocking forever. The murderer had tried hard to cut and open her womb to get the baby out. The pregnant woman was violently murdered while confronting unspeakable distress. However, the law and investigation were raised in this horrible tragedy, but the killer was not identified. Number 4. The Deep Freeze murderer. Anne Noblette was 17 years old and lived in the village of Marshall's Heath. Anne disappeared on the day that she was coming on the way back home after attending the dancing class. She got off the bus and stepped foot on the isolated lane. Anne hasn't arrived home. Days and weeks passed. After a month passed of her disappearance, Anne's body was discovered laying in a frozen state 5 miles far from where she was last seen. Investigators expect that she had been imprisoned in a deep freeze and possibly sexually assaulted. For 32 days, her body has been preserved using refrigeration units. So this terrible crime is called deep freeze murder. Number 3. Beaumont children disappearance. This is a tragic incident that elicits profound grief in the 1960s. Beaumont's children were Jane, who was 9 years, Arna, who was 7 years, and Grant, who was just 4 years old. While they were way back home, they wanted to enjoy and spend time with water, so they stopped at Glenelg Beach. Time passed and the 3 children were late to arrive, so their parents came to find them. They could be able to hear that the children were leisurely talking with a strange guy when they were last seen. Bevan Spencer, Arthur Stanley, James Ryan, Derek Ernest, Alan Anthony and Harry Phipps were some of the suspected enigmatic men behind this incident. The prediction of the police was children may have been abused and murdered. Number 2. The Chicago Tylenol murders. On September 29, 1982, a terrible sequence of crimes occurred in Chicago. 7 people were killed in this incident. This premature death was placed due to the horrific poisoning of Tylenol capsules with cyanide. These capsules were weapons of fear and created a national panic in which people are questioning their reliability. Unidentified offenders bought these capsules to accomplish their heinous acts. Tylenol got every risk and voluntarily pulled an incredible $100 million worth of its products from shop shelves. The unpleasant nature of the crime, the true intention of the crime, and the identity of the offender's secrecy remain unsolved for decades. Number 1. Bella's murder case. This is the last crime that we're bringing you today, the unsolved crime of Bella. 4 young neighborhood boys named Robert Hart, Bob Farmer, Thomas Willett, and Fred Payne explore inside Hagley Wood near Wychbury Hill in the UK. They could find a human skeleton of a dead one hanging on a wych elm tree. The mouth of the skeleton was filled with taffeta. Cops found a gold wedding band and a shoe hidden around the area. Several enigmatic tales were passed, and it is supposed to be the Bella. The person responsible for the crime was never brought to light. As we conclude today's countdown of 9 creepy unsolved crimes, expresses that there is more in this world than what meets our eyes. It's an utter shivering experience to hear about shocking murders, but these terrible crimes ignite our curiosity and brighten our minds to stay more wisely in this dark world. Thank you for joining us. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to stay tuned with Crime Chronicles.